Training troops and upgrading troops is always one of the most confusing questions when it comes to newer players. So stick around in this video because I'll be teaching you which is better and which you should focus on and which scenarios fits which thing to do, whether if it's to upgrade or train new troops. What is up, guys? Meower here, back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. So, in today's video, we'll be discussing the difference between training troops, upgrading troops, and which is better for the long term of your account. So, training troops is usually the standard go to when you are upgrading your troops. Let's just break it down bit by bit. If you train a troop, you pay full price for it and you gain the full power of it. However, if you upgrade a troop, so for example, I'm going to train some T3 here, and we're going to break down the costs and the difference between training T3 and upgrading it to T4 and flat out training T4. So as you can see, T3 costs 240k, 100 wood, 179k stone, and 48k mana. While T4 costs 480k wood, 360k stone, and 160k mana. So the troop training time as well differs. It takes 18 hours and 23 minutes to train T3 to flat out T3. It takes 1 day and 31 minutes to train flat out T4. However, when we go ahead and upgrade them, we're paying the difference in time and resources between them both. So what does that mean? Which is better if you have a lump sum of this and a lump sum of that? It is always better to flat out train troops in the early game, especially because you do need the maximum amount of troops possible, and upgrading troops does slow down your progress when it comes to maximizing the amount of troops you have, because it is always super limited in the early game the amount of troops you can have unless you are a big spender, which is not really the case most of the time. However, for the average player, you should always be training troops no matter what the new type of troops is. Now, there is an exception for this, i.e., T5 and T4, because T5 cost a humongous amount of resources, and the difference between T5 and T4 will save up a lot. However, by the time you've reached T5, resources should not be a problem either, and T5 take around, I do believe they take like 36 hours to 38, 39 hours in order to train 1600. So the difference between training T5 and upgrading T4 to T5 will be 12 hours and such. However, when it comes to an event like the SLE, the Strongest Lord event, and the troop training phase, the best way for the average player in order to gain power, or rather gain points, is to upgrade a troop from a lower tier to a higher tier, because the way it functions right now as it is, it does guarantee you full points of that troop or a slightly higher percentage than half in order to get you higher points in less time if you are a small player that wishes to upgrade your troops. So, just to recap, always train new troops. Don't upgrade troops unless it is in an event of, for example, the SLE, because that will be your quickest route in order to gain highest amount of points and also efficiently spend your speed ups, because you won't be needing to spend a lump sum of speed ups when it comes to training troops in a fresh new batch. You're better off just upgrading your existing troops into the highest tier of troops possible, and you should always try to rush T4 as fast as possible anyway, in order to be as strong as possible, and then eventually work your way for T5. Because one, the difference between T4 and T3 is just too massive in every single base stat. As you can see, it's not the same difference as T3 to T2 to T3, and not even the same difference like T1 to T2, but the difference between T3 to T4 is pretty significant, so you should always rush to unlocking T4, but you should not rush upgrading all your troops from the lower tier to the higher tier, because it is not the most efficient way at all. In the early game, the most efficient way is to upgrade only during the SLE. Otherwise, if you're in a big rush and you're entering a big war, of course you can spam upgrade as much as possible to be as efficient as possible. But the rule of thumb, train regularly in events, upgrade. I hope this cleared out this confusion. If you like videos like this, please drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe and join our Discord to have a conversation with us. This video was requested by Ken, so shout out to Ken and the friends over there in S71 Psych Wolves. Thank you guys so much for your support and thank you for watching. If you like videos like this, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification because I'll be uploading a lot more in this month of May. And I will see you in the next video. Meow meow.